What's that like then to want to go study psychology and become a therapist? And did you ever hear any pushback from family, or do you have any weird sayings or slangs or slurs that you had to move through to like push that aside and just focus on, oh, this is something I'm going to do? Like, what was that experience like?
Yeah, like I'd get comments like, "Oh, you're gonna work with crazy people," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, no! Like, no, 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 no! Like, I work with normal people like you and me, and we just have some issues that it's maybe it's a little bit more comfortable to talk to a therapist to versus to your mom, your dad, your cousins, brother, son."
Yeah. Well, hi, Cecilia.
Hi, Gabe.
Well, thanks for coming today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah. And yeah, it was a pleasure working with you at the Recovery Center and just getting to know you and, getting your input and feedback and bouncing ideas off each other. And it was a pleasure and an honor. And I'm just so grateful to have you here today. And
thank you.
Yeah. And it'd be fun to learn about what inspired you to become a therapist, and really just like, where'd you grow up and what was like your childhood like, and how'd you even hear about therapy and that type of career? Like, yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I come from Mexican parents, so I guess I'd be second generation. They immigrated here my mom immigrated here after she got married to my dad. My dad was here since he was about 17. And then I was born here. I was born here in Oceanside, so I grew up here, raised here in Oceanside. I'm still in Oceanside. I love Oceanside. But yeah, it was great. I grew up playing soccer. Grades were pretty average. I was really into math in like middle school, high school. Like I skipped a math grade.
Okay.
So yeah, I thought I was going to get into a major where it was kind of related to math, right? Either like accounting or I don't even know, like statistics, something like that. And then one day my mom, like, she asked me, she said something like, "Hey, like, it'd be kind of interesting for you to study like the brain and like the psychology of the brain." I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that does sound really cool. And at my high school, we didn't have AP psychology. We didn't have any type of psychology class. So senior year, I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to get into psychology. I didn't even know what it was, honestly, at all. But I was watching the show called Criminal Minds.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Have you watched it?
No, but I'm very aware of it.
Oh my gosh. It was like my favorite show all throughout like high school, which has to do with psychology and the behavioral analysis unit and the FBI.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something like that. And that was kind of like my dream, what I saw. And I was like, what majors do I have to do to kind of get into this? I think a lot of people didn't really know how to guide me through that. When I would ask, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, that seems very like niche and small. And so someone suggested maybe like sociology and psychology, or criminal justice and psychology, like double majoring. But then I was like, okay, like I'll see. So I get into college at Cal State San Marcos, commuted there, great college, did psychology, went straight into it, took my first psychology class and I loved it. So I just stuck with it, and I feel so grateful that I didn't have to change my majors or anything like I heard other people do. So yeah, and I also majored in Spanish because I knew I wanted to do some type of therapy with Spanish-speaking folks, and I thought that would really help me to develop my Spanish as well. Yeah, so I did that, and at Cal State it was more research-based, the psychology. So it was more into it just happened to be that I was in those kinds of classes and courses. It was just very research-based. So I was like, okay, this isn't exactly what I thought I was going to get into. I didn't even know research had to do much with psychology either, because I was like, oh, this is kind of, I guess I'm kind of implementing like the science and the math and the stats into the psychology, but I didn't really like it. So I ended up enrolling in a course where it was a clinical practice course. I'm like, okay, finally, finally going to meet with clients, right? Versus just kind of seeing them as a number, right? And their score on the PHQ and the GAD, right?
And what are those so people know what that
Yeah,
means?
the PHQ. I don't know what the PHQ stands
I
for.
don't remember.
I don't remember.
That's fine.
It's a depression scale. It's a depression scale.
That's right.
Okay, the PHQ is a depression scale,
Yeah.
and the GAD is a generalized anxiety disorder
That's right.
scale.
Yeah.
So depending on your score, it kind of determines how severe your anxiety and depression is. And it also has another question at the end where it's how difficult do these symptoms how does it make your life more difficult, right? So it's not at all what is it, very difficult, extremely difficult, etc.
Yeah.
So I did that, which was the clinical class that I enrolled in. And they trained me to be a volunteer in hospice setting. Again, I didn't know what hospice was. I didn't know anything at all. And so they're training me for this. I worked for a company called Lightbridge. They're down in San Diego. Great company too. And so pretty much what I had to do was sit with a hospice client or patient. I would read books to them. I'd talk to them, paint their nails if they wanted me to, just kind of spend some time with them. So I was able to have a lot of empathy with these people. And I think that's why I really practice my empathy and practice distancing myself from the client or patient as well. I became very much more comfortable with death too, because I saw this client or patient one day, and because of hospice, they could be gone the next day. So it's like the attachment and the detachment that I learned being in hospice and very early on too in my career of psychology that I'm very grateful for now, which I think it's still a skill that has been very helpful for me being a therapist. But yeah, I learned how to ask questions. I learned to be comfortable with people I didn't know. And I was like, okay, I like this. I like where this is going. I want to do more. So for grad school, we needed to have some research background. Again, I wanted to get into a PhD program. So I didn't know this, but a PhD is essentially a research degree. So I'm like, I want to be a doctor. That's what I want to do. Did the research. Again, didn't really love it, didn't enjoy it. And then I learned that there's master programs in just the clinical stuff. I was like, okay, cool. And went to University of Miami, great school, great program. Worked with, had a few individual clients that I saw virtually because of COVID. COVID had just started, so my first therapy sessions were virtual, not in person, which made it a little bit easier because I think I would have been so nervous sitting in front with a client for face to face. So I was very grateful for that experience. At least I was in the comfort of my dorm, and it was good. And I also worked at an eating disorder treatment center place. And I was very interested in eating disorder too, even when I was in undergrad as well. Just how the beauty norms and expectations and how that has to do with one's self-esteem, and how then, we start restricting, or we start to have a lot of anxiety and depression because of the way that we look. And I wanted to understand that a little bit more, because my initial question, right, going into psychology is, why do people do the things they do, right? Why do people eat and then throw up? Why do people skip meals? Why do people restrict themselves in that way? And I was very curious about that. So that was an interesting experience as well. And that was kind of half in person, half virtual. So I was able to do groups as well. That was my first experience doing group therapy.
Okay.
Yeah, with a room full of women and non-binary people. And even that in itself was a challenge too, right? You're not just having one client in front of you, you're in a room full of 12 clients and managing all of that. But it was a great experience. I really liked it. I really liked my mentors and supervisors who really guided me through it, and people that I was able to shadow as well. That was really helpful too. I wasn't just kind of like thrown into it. I was able to really see, experience, and witness how each therapist had their own style of doing things.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was very like, professional, like no emotion, like, all right, let's get into it, right? And it wasn't until this experience I was like, oh no, like I can put my personality into therapy, and it's okay, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I think even the client appreciates that a little bit more too. But yeah, graduated from there and then moved back to California, and got all of my paperwork completed, transferred, and all of that, and started working at an addiction treatment center. I viewed eating disorder as a type of addiction, so I was like, okay, that sounds pretty similar as drug and alcohol addiction. And it was with all men, and so very 180 from where I was in grad school. And I was just kind of mostly thrown into with the wolves. I think it's the saying, right? Like, all right, cool. I interviewed on a Thursday. I was like, I'll start on Monday. I started on Monday.
All right.
Yeah, so that was interesting, very interesting. But I look back and I reflect on it. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I did all of that. And I had a lot of anxiety too. So I'm like, okay, I'm an associate now. Like, I'm not an intern. I don't have that to kind of as an excuse, right, to not do well. But I had a great supervisor as well who really guided me through. I felt very supported. And the workload was just a lot at the time for me. And there's a lot of transitions going on and some things I was like, whoa, is this normal? Is this okay? Is everybody like feeling the way I'm feeling, or is it just me? So a little out of place as well, but I got through it. I'm very grateful for that experience. I learned a lot about myself and who I am as a therapist and as a person. And yeah, I was there for a good 2.5 years, I believe. And I'm working at a community group. So I work more with low-income population, refugees, and I see 14-year-olds and up. I really do enjoy working with the teenagers. Kids I have no experience with, so I was like, nope, I can't. I don't wanna get in there yet. And yeah, a lot of virtual, in person, different cultures, men, women. So it kind of opened up the pool for that. I also see clients through a private practice, which has been a great experience too. I really enjoy those clients, and yeah, just doing it all, while also taking care of myself in the process.
Right.
Yes, one can get burnt out in doing this work, but it's very meaningful, and I get a lot of purpose, and I feel very grateful for being able to do this work and to be a part of my clients' journeys. And yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell kind of what brought me to therapy.
Nice. Thank you, Cecilia. Yeah. So it sounds like you had a pretty healthy or solid relationship with your parents, and sounds like your mom threw out an idea and you're like, oh, that sounds interesting. Just sort of ran with it.
Yeah. Parents are great. They've always been very supportive. They my grandpa would say the shovel's heavier than a pencil. So school's important. And they really just wanted me to graduate, right? Didn't matter what, as long as I graduated. So I very much appreciated my mom's input, because I very much trust my mom, and I know she's not going to guide me in a way that's going to hurt me, right? So I was like, you know what? Yeah, that actually is a really interesting question, like field psychology and the brain and what leads us to do certain things. And yeah, I do. Yeah, they're still very important to me.
Right on. And say culturally, like I know in a lot of Mexican American households or with my clients, it's really tough for a lot of my clients are men and as women too, is to even ask for help or ask for support and go to therapy or even say I have feelings or it's a very stoic culture in my opinion. And what's that like then to want to go study psychology and become a therapist? And did you ever hear any pushback from family or do you have any weird sayings or slangs or slurs that you had to move through to like push that aside and just focus on, oh, this is something I'm going to do? Like, what was that experience like?
Yeah, like I'd get comments like, "Oh, you're gonna work with crazy people," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, no, like no, no. Like I work with normal people like you and me, and we just have some issues that it's a little bit more comfortable to talk to a therapist to versus to your mom, your dad, your cousins, brother, son."
Yeah.
So I think in the Mexican culture, right, we're very much kind of like stays in the family, right? It stays in the family. No one else needs to know, right? Very much like preserving that image, right? That everything's okay, everything's normal, right? So there's a lot of shame, especially in the Mexican culture. Most of us are Catholic. So there's a lot of Catholic shame too. So certain topics that shouldn't be talked about as well out loud. But yeah, a lot of pushback, for sure.
Yeah. So say okay to go confess it to
Yeah.
the priest, but don't go talk to a therapist.
Yeah, and honestly, I took a Chicano studies course in undergrad, and the book literally said, "Go talk to a priest, not a therapist." And I'm like, what? And I was so angry, and I still have this resentment towards like this class and this book. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm here trying to be a therapist and help my community.
Yeah.
Like, no, what do you mean that's the only way to express yourself is to a priest? And I just really had to work through that, and that's some of my countertransference too. I remember I had a client who told me that his dad was a Chicano studies professor, and a lot of emotions came up for me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I was trying to learn more about my culture, and it's like telling me that what I'm doing is not okay. That's how I viewed it at the time. Versus like, okay, no, if that's, as long as you get it out, you get it out. Cool.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
If it's to a priest, cool. If it's to, to your journal, cool. To a therapist, awesome. But yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Wow. Yeah, and I find that interesting too, especially with Catholicism and faith in general. Not all faiths, but even like I grew up non-denominational Christian, and there's a lot of like heaven and hell, like the sinner, and so there's a lot of guilt and shame built into the structure of religion, which is really interesting too. And I'm curious like how that shows up in like the Mexican culture, that sense of like, why can't you just get it together? It's like, be a man, or like, it's like, you're the woman of the house, be in charge. Like, what's wrong with your man? Like, why does your man need therapy? Like, something must be wrong with her then if something's wrong with him.
A lot of blaming.
Right? There's a lot of blame and shame and guilt from what I experience with my clients in the culture. And
Yeah, a lot of blaming, a lot of good and bad, right? Like, this is bad. What I'm feeling is bad. I'm being bad, versus good. And I always try to reframe that. Like, no, some things are healthy and some things are unhealthy. Does not mean it's good or bad. And then it also doesn't reflect on who you are as a person.
yeah.
You're not a bad person. You just did something that maybe was unhealthy.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't mean you still are a good person, right? Like, we cannot let this behavior define who you are, right? Because then we get stuck in that resentment and that anger and that shame. And sometimes I think a lot of the times in the Mexican culture, we see that as strength being in that anger, right? Being aggressive, like
Right.
that's strength, and one gets respect that way versus being assertive, right? And yeah, we see a lot of like that within the culture, and how there's also like machismo, right? So putting feelings to the side and kind of showing this masculinity that's very unhealthy, right? Pushing away the femininity, and seeing that as bad, right? So what is femininity in the culture? It's being emotional, right? Showing emotion. So it's very much that inner conflict that's kind of going on. Like I'm feeling stuff, but I'm not allowed to feel it, so I'm going to push it down, push it away, right? Or drink tequila to kind of
Right.
make it go away.
As we
right?
tell with a lot of our clients, you know, they drink, men, women too, but a lot of men drink their feelings down. A lot of my Mexican clients drink their feelings down. And like you said, that machismo, or even form of stoicism, I guess, in some ways, is that I got to not show feelings because feelings are a sign of weakness or a sign that I don't have it together. And it's really interesting, too, how you said it's okay for men to be angry or to be aggressive.
Yes.
And I'd love to explore the space between aggressiveness and assertiveness because I really work on that even within myself, is that I want to be assertive with what? With what do I feel? What do I need? And aggressive is telling people what to do versus assertive is sharing and trying to collaborate.
Yeah.
And in my experience, and like in the culture, how do you see that come across with men or even women, that aggressiveness versus assertiveness, or that mask men have to wear? Like,
Yeah. I think men expect things to be done, right? So they think being aggressive is the only way to get it done, right? Like they don't, it's only aggressive and passive, right? Like a lot of people don't know that there's this middle that's assertive, that's healthy. And that's what I teach a lot to these clients, right? A lot of this psychoeducation, and they're just like, what? Like, I didn't even know I could do this. And because you're assertive, it does not mean you're going to get your needs met,
That's
unfortunately, right? Like you're just communicating them in a way that you're respecting the other person and yourself as well. So it's a lot of that psychoeducation piece to it. Because if I'm not aggressive, then I'm being passive, and that's seen weak, and that's, seen as the submissive one or whatever it may be, right? But
yeah, it's interesting for sure. And I also think of, where do these young boys learn this from? Like, they learn from their dads for sure, but then I also think of who's usually running the house. In my experience, it's the woman. So it's mom and grandma telling the boys don't cry, dust it off, pick it up, be a man. And so I find, not always, but for the most part, a lot of boys and men are learning to behave this way from their female role models.
Sure.
And not always, but with some of my clients, some of the physical abuse in the home is actually the wife to the male. And he doesn't want to hit her back because he's not going to be that type of guy. And so in my experience with the Mexican culture, I can find women to be very aggressive. Not all women, but I'm just trying.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. That too, because it's I have to protect the family. I have to build up, the kids so they're not seen as weak, so they can survive this world, right? Especially if it is like just a single parent household, right? Where you have to play both parts, the man and the woman, and the mother and the father figure to the kids, right? So if they don't have a father figure, it's like, okay, I have to teach them how to be aggressive, right? But yeah, it's tough, and very tough.
Yeah, it is tough. I think my challenge then is teaching my clients that space between grace. Is it's like, okay, all right, you believe in a higher power, have this spiritual understanding, and all right, where do we offer this space for forgiveness and for healing. So when I
Yeah.
can accept forgiveness then I can be willing to receive grace, redemption, renewal. And I find that the grace is the healing thing that can override that shame or that guilt or the blame within the family unit. Or maybe there's this historical trauma and just history of struggle and hard work.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do we move beyond that? And I'm finding that first we have to be willing. And then after willingness, hopefully we can receive forgiveness and grace.
Yeah. It's forgiving yourself first, right? Forgiving yourself first for these things that you didn't know better, that, you did the best that you could in that moment with what you knew. And we learn from it and move on, right? And to get that grace, right? Giving yourself that grace first, because forgiveness is a gift that you're giving yourself, right? And, changing because of these experiences, changing yourself and how you view yourself, and, hopefully develop into a healthier person in the future, right? Taking those lessons with us. Yeah.
And I find it interesting. I liked how you said forgiveness is something I'm offering myself.
A gift you give yourself.
Gift
Yeah.
you give yourself. I like that a lot because often I find people are so willing to forgive others.
Yeah.
We're so willing to see the humanity in others.
Or they're expecting that from others too. Like they want an apology. They want an apology from the other person, and they continue to stay the victim. It's like, no, you have to do that for yourself first. Right? Forgive yourself first, right? Doesn't matter about the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I find that that's when people become victims, is when we want an apology for something and we don't get it. Maybe I don't get the apology I want, and I'm like, I'm willing and I'm open to say I'm sorry. But what's up with this fool? Why are they?
Yeah.
It's
And
like-
then they apologize and it still doesn't hit the same, right? Because it's not what they expected. And it's like, see, that's why we're telling you this, right? It's like, what is it going to do for you? Hearing it from the other person. You're going
Right.
to make up an excuse like, oh, he didn't really mean it. Like someone forced him to do it. Like he's still going to stab me in the back, whatever it may be, right? And it's like, it's because it doesn't matter, right? It sucks. What can we control? What can we not control?
Right. Yeah, it's so true. And I find that, I look at my own life and I see it in others and I see it in my clients now, is giving away our power. Like, I will be better once they apologize. I will be better. I can heal. I can move on once they say I'm sorry. So I find in the anger, the resentment, the judgment, that need for redemption is based on them, rather than my need for redemption is based on myself. And so I see people give away their power so much they need to say they're sorry. They need to take responsibility. Well, you know what? They might not ever take responsibility.
Yeah.
They might not ever say they're sorry. So what, you're just going to be miserable and suffer the rest of your life because somebody did you wrong? Maybe you did yourself wrong. Maybe it's a two-way street. You both did each other wrong.
Yeah. And then the person will continue to give to this person, right? Expecting a different outcome. And it's no, you have to expect the same outcome if they're not going to change, right? So we have to do that work in ourselves. Right? And walk away or set a boundary, or, and that's really difficult. And back to kind of like the Hispanic culture, to do that, to set those boundaries with family members, right? To be able to set that there is a lot of disrespect that happens in the culture, and a lot of entitlement, right? Like deserving respect because they're older, right? You have to respect your elders, and it's like, well, no, they've been very disrespectful to me, and I still have to respect them. It's like, no, you don't have to. Honestly, you don't.
I noticed that one too.
Yeah.
Especially when there's parents who weren't parents at all. Like nothing but loads of trauma and horrible life. And the parent is still expecting to what? Give me gifts. Respect me. I'm your mother.
Yeah.
I'm your mother. I did all this for you. No, you didn't do anything for me, really. Maybe you like put a roof over my head sometimes, but what? You sold me out to men. I did drugs when I was young. There was like, and you still expect me to love you? And I have clients with those challenges, and it's so interesting. And that cultural, and it's across cultures too, but specifically that client I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a client like that too right now where she is hosting her mom because she's older and just needs extra care. But she's so disrespectful to my client, very critical, talks about her to other people outside of the home, isn't grateful at all, doesn't even talk to her in their own home. And she's just like, I can't kick her out. Like, I just can't. Like, I feel responsible. And she also has kids of her own. She's like, she tells her kids, if I ever get like this, just kick me out. Like, please do. I'm like, well, what's stopping you from doing that with your mom?
Right.
And it's like, oh, that's a good question. Like, I don't know. And yeah, there's definitely still work to be done there to kind of like reflect on that. But it's just like the sense of responsibility to our parents that we have, even if they don't deserve it. It's like, how can I do that to my mom? How can I do that to my dad? Like, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I have to put up with whatever they're throwing at me.
Yeah.
And it's like, we really don't.
Agreed. And what it makes me think of is I'm abandoning myself just like my parent abandoned me. And now they're demanding of me to not abandon them. Because the parent maybe emotionally abandoned their kid, doesn't show that gratitude, that love, that thankfulness. And now they're demanding the care, demanding the respect. And now my client is abandoning their own love and their own worth for their parent.
Yeah.
Just as their parent has abandoned them as a child. So now it's that weird attachment style of being anxious all the time, anxiously seeking love I'll never receive.
Yep.
For this idealized relationship that's a fantasy. Like, that fantasy is never going to happen.
Yep.
Parents not going to change. They're not doing any work on themselves.
Being delusional at that
Yeah,
point.
super.
Yeah, being delusional. You have to grieve that parent that you needed. So I do talk a lot about that in my work as well, like grieving the parent that you needed, that you expected. Because unfortunately, they're not going to show up for you.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to go through that grieving process, and see the parent as they are right now, as without any wishes and hopes and that they're going to change. Just take them as they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it right there. See them as they are in this moment. Yeah.
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 It's tricky. And I like how you said you had to go through the process of learning to not be attached to. So I had a martial arts teacher who had to teach me this when I was working with kids at a kids center, because I was a hot mess. And he's like, Gabe, you got to not be attached to their healing. I'm like, I don't understand how the Buddha did that, man.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. We have a sense of responsibility too to our clients, and because I think it also reflects on, subconsciously, right? I think it reflects on how well we're doing as therapists, right?
Yeah.
So I've had to learn to detach from that, which is so hard. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm being so mean. I'm being a bad therapist doing this. But no, I'm protecting myself in that way too. And I've been learning that a lot. And I slip here and there, right? I notice it when I start to get frustrated at a client. I'm like, okay, I'm working a little bit too hard right now.
Yeah.
If they don't want the help, that's okay. That's on them.
That's right.
That's not on me. And I'm here if they need the help. But yeah, they have to do their own healing in their own time, right? Like, they're only with us an hour a week. They're doing all the work outside of the therapy room, right? So it's on them if they want to get better.
Yes.
Or healthier.
Yeah. And I loved how you said it's on them to do the work. That's the truth of it. Like, I can't do the work for them. I can't do the work for anybody.
We don't have all the answers.
No.
And I think a lot of clients come in expecting that answer. What do I do? It's like, what do you want to do? Like,
right. Dude, I'm not your life coach.
Yeah, no.
I'm not your guru.
No.
Come on, buddy.
I did not go to school for 8 years to do this.
I'm just a dude. I'm another dude.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm here
Yeah.
to explore different options with you. We can
Yeah.
look at the pros and the cons, but you have to make the decision.
Right.
I'm not going to make it for you.
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to blame me if it goes wrong.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, and right there, I find so many clients and things I've had to even learn myself, of course, is that I can't internalize or personalize other people's feelings.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to personalize my client's feelings or internalize theirs and for my client to their parents.
Yeah.
Just because my mom or my dad or my grandma or grandfather are angry doesn't mean that's my anger or they're sad or disappointed in me. It doesn't mean I have to feel like a disappointment. And I think that when I internalize that shame or internalize that guilt, that's a lot of the suffering I notice in a lot of my clients is when they personalize these expectations. When I'm supposed to be this way, I'm supposed to behave this way, and I'm not meeting that expectation. So now I hate myself, or now I'm suffering. And I'd even be curious how that maybe sense of internalizing or personalizing, what is culture's concept of beauty? Because when you worked with, body dysmorphia challenges and eating challenges, it's like, what were a lot of those difficulties for those women and individuals with body image and their self-view? Like, where did they even learn that? What did they even learn? Where did they even learn what beauty is?
Yeah. Through social media or even by their own like parents and family members. It just kind of gets passed down, right? These like certain eating habits and the, way that one needs to look, social beauty expectations, right? What's popular at the time. But yeah, all that internalized shame starts to develop into I don't deserve to eat. And that's just like what?
Right.
You deserve to eat?
So
like,
weird.
no, you get to eat. Like, what do you mean? Like, we need to eat to survive.
Right.
Like I would do the activity of Maslow's hierarchy of needs with a client. And this would be like in a group setting, and it's like I'd have them write down like what are their basic needs and kind of put it in their hierarchy. Food would be like not even on there. It's like, no, like I want to have my friends. I want to be able to travel. I want to do this and that. And it's like, okay, you can't do that if you don't eat.
Right.
You can't do any of that unless you eat.
Right.
Like, and then it's like eating is bad, right? And it's just kind of like all these distortions, and it's challenging those distortions. And it's like one thinks, wait, what? Like it's so basic, right? But it's not like that for them.
Yeah.
And for me, I see it as I need to understand their world, right? How are they, what does their world look like?
Yeah.
Right. And then kind of like from the inside out, try to challenge that.
Yeah.
Right. Versus like, no, this is the correct way of doing things. Right.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, what? Like that, it does not make sense to them. Right. And yeah, it's difficult. It's kind of mind blowing too when you're kind of in there trying to, it's like, how do I reframe this from them? How do I challenge this very true thought that they have? Like they see it as true. They see it as a reality. How do I challenge that? And a lot of anger comes up. A lot of shame comes up. And it's difficult. It's difficult to challenge that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like women can be taught only beautiful women get a hardworking man who provides, or whatever waist size. Like what is even skinny? I don't even know what that means. Like what waist size is considered skinny?
Honest, and you would see, like I would see people there, and I'm like, what? You have an eating disorder? Like, because they're a little bit bigger, or they're not like the skin and bones that one kind of visualizes of what anorexia looks like. Like they look normal, and it's like, what? Like you restrict? Like it was just, that was a shock for me to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's if I look this way, I get attention, right? I get love, I get acceptance, right? I feeling deserving of all of these things. If I don't, I'm not deserving of all of these things, right? A partner, being able to wear certain clothes, being able to feel good about oneself, right? Like, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Like I can only like myself if I fit into this size of a jean, or I can only like myself. Yeah, here you can turn it. That one screws it. Yeah, go put it. Move it towards you, or yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, that one goes choo 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 choo. So it actually turns clockwise.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so it'll unwind. But yeah, the idea is my self-worth is contingent based upon an outcome. Like I can only love myself if I have this type of guy who earns this much or who works this hard or does this or that. So the idea is if I have to become worthy of getting that rather than I'm worthy as I am in this moment.
Yeah.
Or like I can like myself after I go to the gym and then I can like myself, or I can like myself once I fit into that size jean or whatever. So it all sounds like contingent based love, which
Yeah.
isn't really love.
Very conditional, right?
Very conditional,
Like, mom
yeah.
and dad will love me. Mom and dad will just like give me attention if I look a certain way, if I do a certain thing. Mom and dad would be so proud of me if I, do this and that.
So yeah, conditional performance based love. And so yeah, I think we learned that from our parents and then a lot from the world. I mean, even in school, that's where we learn self-esteem, so my perspective of self-esteem is it's how we get it. So the idea is it's based on accomplishments, accolades, but it's when my self-love and self-worth is contingent based upon my accolades, then that's destructive. Whereas our inherent worthiness of love, our compassion, our ability to be with our pain and suffering, like I'm worthy of being loved as I am, flaws and all, and in this moment, I find that when we rely on self-esteem, we suffer.
Yeah, and that's something like that I learned from you when we were working together. Like I didn't know the difference between self-esteem and self-worth. I was like, what do you mean? They're the same thing. They're the same thing. What are you talking about? But no, and it makes total sense, right? Like self-esteem you get from other people, right? Or how other people view you. And self-worth is how you view yourself, right? And what you feel deserving of. And it's like, no, you are deserving of all these things, and that's okay, right? You don't need someone else to tell you that you're deserving of that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for you for teaching me this, which I still teach in my own practice and therapy
Thank
as
you,
well. I'm like, do you want self-esteem or self-worth? Self-worth, right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
We can have both.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, but no, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm so grateful for all of my teachers and people who've been able to pass that on to me.
Yeah.
So it is interesting, the space between self-esteem and self-worth.
Yeah.
And we are worthy. We don't have to perform to be worthy of love. And I find that's what's really challenging with a lot of the female clients I work with is that sense of being worthy of her man. Like I have to like look this good, or like a lot of women who want to get breast jobs or get a nose job or whatever type of job is that. It's like, no, you're worthy of just being loved as you are. I mean, you can do those things, sure.
Yeah.
It's not going to make you love yourself more, or it's actually not going to make him love you more.
Yeah. I have a client a woman, she has like 3 or 4 kids. And she's like, I need to get a job or else my husband's going to leave me. I'm like, what? Like, what's telling you that? Like, I'm like, has he told you that he's going to leave you if you don't get a job? She's like, well, no, but I feel like he's going to do that. I'm like, where are you getting these? Like, it's like one's own low feelings of self-worth, right? Like I have to make myself seem deserving, right, of continuing to be married to this person, right, to add value to myself by having a job, so he doesn't leave me. It's like, what? Like I'm like, no. Like we gotta stay in the reality of things, right? Let's look at the facts. And it's like, no.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. Is I have to be valuable to be worthy of this relationship.
Yes. And it's like, You provide for your family, like by being a stay-at-home mom, taking care of the kids,
Yeah.
like taking care of the home. That's a lot of
It's a
work.
lot of work.
And it's like they don't see it that way. They're like, no, I'm supposed to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm supposed to do this. It's like, okay, you don't need to go above and beyond. It's like, no, but there's other people that have a job and they also take care of the home. Like, okay, that's other people, right? That's other people. And, you know, it's always greener on the other side. Like, who knows how they're feeling? Who knows how their mental health is? Who knows what other issues they may be going through, right? It's like, let's focus on you here, right? Without comparing
Exactly.
to everyone else.
Yeah. Once I compare myself to others, I will suffer.
Yep.
Yeah. And I notice for those females, and is that the idea is that the quality of the connection to those children. It's like, what? Do you want to have a nanny or somebody else raise your kids, or do you want to raise your kids?
Yeah.
And yeah, how much is a nanny? How much is, private daycare?
Yeah.
Okay, if we break down the numbers, like, I'm still going to have to work super freaking hard to pay for all those things. And I think I'm seeing in certain parts of the population of our generation specifically is going back to that tradition of, let's have a stay-at-home parent. It doesn't matter if it's dad or mom.
Yeah.
But ideally, there's one at home.
I love it. Yeah.
Because I think the quality of the attachment system is way better.
Yeah. Your kid's less sick too. I know they're always getting sick at daycare.
Right.
And it's a lot of money, and it's like you're pretty much just paying to be separated from your kid because it's all going to childcare.
Right.
And I have a couple family members who have become stay-at-home moms, and I think it's beautiful. That's great. Yeah. But I have a client who also just started working full time, and I think 3 days out of the week she has to take her kid to childcare, and it just like breaks her every time. Like she's like, I feel so guilty. Like I feel like I'm abandoning her. She's so distressed. She's gonna hate me. Like all these things. And it's this last session, it was just like unraveling all of that and how she feels like she needs to do this because she's not getting the financial support from her partner. So it's kind of like ideally she doesn't want to do this, but she's not getting the support, so she needs to do it for herself. And I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but
That's tough.
Yeah.
That having that solid unit be on the same page.
Yeah, it's definitely not on the same page right now.
That's very difficult.
Very, very, very.
What? I have a studio in my house?
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to survive in a different era.
Oh, yeah. I like even just working the land here, and my cousin David, he has 5,000 acres of corn and 2,000 pigs in Iowa. Yeah. And my grandmother, she was a farmer from Iowa. They came over from Germany, or my great-grandfather came over just before World War I. And through Ellis Island and everything. And
Cool. Have you gone to Ellis Island?
yeah, I did during the 8th grade field trip. Yeah.
Super cool.
So, oh my god, these office hands, I get blisters so easy. I work through it.
Yeah.
But it's hard work. And so I think of the field workers. I have greater empathy now. I like hard work, working all day. I mean, I worked construction in high school, college a little bit. Not for me, but I liked how your grandfather said the shovel's heavier than the pencil.
Yeah.
There's a lot of truth in that.
Yep. So let's grab a pencil, not the shovel.
It will grab the shovel sometimes.
Yeah. That's okay.
As a hobby.
We got it. Yeah.
As a hobby.
We choose to, right? No, we have to
Right. Yeah.
pick up the shovel. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, we are worthy of loving ourselves as we are, flaws and all. I think that's my favorite thing that I want to get across, and even culturally too. It's like it's interesting. So my stepdad, he's Mexican American. He's a firefighter and stuff, retired firefighter, fire captain, and it was interesting when I tried to talk about feelings. He was just like, moving forward. It's all like, Gabe, not my emergency. We move on, we move forward.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm not a Zen Buddhist master like you, man. I'm like, I can't move. I mean, I'd like to be able to move on from emergency to emergency.
Yeah.
So I had to learn. Now that he's retired, he actually talks more about feelings, which is interesting. And I get more cool, interesting graphic stories too. So I think that was maybe also his coping mechanism, was to suppress
Yeah.
and avoid those feelings. And now I know the fire department has a lot more support these days. And I've met a really nice firefighter, Tim, who does his best to try and do like mindfulness and yoga with firefighters. And there's a lot of pushback because it's very much a bro culture. It's a fraternity of its own kind.
Yeah.
So like I was in a fraternity at SDSU in my undergrad, which great experience. And there's definitely a culture though that's created. And it's interesting when I refer bro culture, I think the idea is we show strength through stoicism. And not that stoicism is good or bad. There's a time and place. Like
Yes.
for like, there's a fire, there's a car accident, I don't have time to talk about feelings. I need to save somebody's life.
Yes.
Or in war, like the soldier doesn't have time to be like, well, maybe I shouldn't shoot. No, dude, there's a time and a place for feelings.
Especially with communication too, right? There's a time and a place to be passive, a time and place to be aggressive.
Yes.
The guy's coming at me with a knife, I'm going to say like, hey sir, like I'm getting very uncomfortable at the way you're walking towards me. It's like, no, it's like, get the F out. Like,
Right.
Get the F away from me. What are you talking about?
Right.
And that's comforting for clients too, knowing that there is a time and a place for these communication patterns and a time and a place to express emotions.
Yeah.
Right.
And even violence is a form of communication.
It is. Yeah, for sure.
It's like, I asked you twice, like with my nieces. Like I've seen them, and she's like, I asked her twice nicely to stop. This is the third time, and by the third time, she got physical. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna say anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I watched her use her words.
You ask nicely does not mean that they're going to listen, right?
Yeah. So
And
she, upped her communication tactic.
you have choices. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, but yeah. And then she got the idea. And then they stopped. Yeah. I think that's an interesting thing though, because especially with kids, is I want to communicate to my nieces and nephews, hey, let's use our words.
Yeah.
And they do pretty well. And when we need to validate them too, like, I noticed you do that.
Yeah.
I noticed that. And you're doing a great job. And I also noticed that, we get frustrated and irritated, and sometimes we get physical, and that's okay. And then we say we're sorry, and then we forgive each other. And then the next point that I notice is really important is the memory of a goldfish part. I got that from Ted Lasso.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's so good. There's wisdom and truth in it, is that after forgiveness, like, I know there's a saying, I can forgive, but I'll never forget. I actually think forgive and forget, because we can exist in a state of resentment or fortune telling. This person's going to behave this way again, or they're going to do this thing again because they did it in the past.
Yeah.
Whereas if I forgive somebody, it's like renewal, redemption, like baptism.
Yeah.
And the idea is I want to give that person an opportunity to behave differently. And so I'd be curious, what's your experience with clients and people being willing to forgive and not forget?
Yeah. It's tough because it's a protective mechanism for them.
Right.
Right. Like if they already did this to me once, they're obviously going to do it again. Right. So they're very much hyper vigilant about the other person's behavior, or like will put some distance between themselves and that person, which it's valid, right? Like I would have that fear too of it happening again. And it's also, how distressing is it? Right. It's like, okay, if it's so distressing, then maybe it is time to cut that relationship or whatever it may be. And there's also room to give this person another chance, right? To redeem themselves in that way. And if they do, cool. And if they don't, then okay, that gives you information, right? What are you going to do with it now? I guess it depends on the relationship, right? Who it is, if this is your partner, if this is like a parent, if this is, like the grocery store clerk, like it kind of just depends on the situation, I think, too. But yeah, it's tough. That's tough.
So let's see. So if I forgive, and then I become hypervigilant, it's going to happen again. Let's say in relationships where there's betrayal. So a lot of my clients, I work with men who maybe have porn addiction, sexual addiction, maybe going to strip clubs or to the massage parlors or getting call girls.
Yeah.
And so now they're working on not doing that anymore. And so there can be this fear of he's going to do it again, or I know of this other guy and he did it to his wife, even though they're going to groups, they're working on themselves. She now compares her husband to this other guy, even though my client's working on himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I see that difficulty too, especially in intimacy wounds. I find that intimacy wounds is the fear of future betrayal or very distressing.
Yeah.
In that now that hypervigilance gets in the way of the partner focusing on the current work and current progress being done.
Yes.
Like, yes, he's going to therapy. He's going to Sex Addiction Anonymous. Yes, he's going to these men's support groups. Yes, he's going to these he's doing couples therapy. They're going to church or Bible study. There's a lot of work being done.
Yeah.
And so I find sometimes that hypervigilance and fear of the future is being projected into the present moment.
Yeah, because they're just kind of like still in that resentment, in that anger. And that's what I would be curious about, right? Like, what is it doing for you, right? Like, do you still want to be mad at him? Do you still want to have, like, one up on him? Like, do you still want all of that? Like, what's the point? What is this doing for you? Right? Like, do you actually want to have a relationship with him? Or are you just finding an excuse to kind of, you're waiting for his one mess up and then using that as an excuse to kind of leave, right? Like, what is this doing for you? Right? Kind of like that curiosity piece, especially if they are doing all that work. Like, that's amazing. Not everyone does all that work. Right? So I think that should show this person, right? Like, okay, like, what more do you want them to do? Right. Like, I don't think it's a them problem. I think it's kind of like a you problem, right? Like, maybe you need to do some work too, as well, with kind of healing those wounds that you have.
And that right there is the part that's hard for me to communicate to a lot of my male clients is they're doing the work, and now their wife or partner is still having these expectations of checking in, reviewing these defects, or tell me more. What was she like?
Yeah.
Or tell me about this experience. And now they're what I call like pain shopping. Now they're looking for pain rather than healing. And so, like you said, what is it that they really want?
Yeah.
And so I work with individual to males. Sometimes I'll do family support session. So I'm not doing no thank you to couples therapy.
Same.
Yeah. I don't get paid enough for that unless you want to pay me for that. Yeah. So the challenge I find is, like you said, what does she really want? And so I think that's the difficulty. Does she want the relationship, or is she looking for a reason to leave?
Yeah.
For the next shoe to drop. And so I find that intimacy wounds are really difficult, because then it's not just he didn't do this because of her. He did it because of his childhood. He did it because of how his parents treated him or didn't treat him, or the love he didn't receive, the affection he didn't receive. So now it's like I'm trying to explain that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain the science of the brain, the science of child development, and being like, that's a coping tool.
Yeah.
And that coping tool wasn't about you technically. Like, he doesn't want to hurt you. It was more about soothing the distress he's in, because he doesn't know how to be authentic. He doesn't know how to be vulnerable. He doesn't know how to say, you know what, hey, hon, I would really like sex tonight. Hey, hon, I'd really like intimacy this weekend. Hey, hon, I feel really overwhelmed, or I feel really overwhelmed with work and the kids. And so he doesn't want to be judged or blamed by her. So what? He gets some transactional relationship where she says nice things, she doesn't judge him, and then it's over.
Yeah.
And so that's not what he's getting at home. That's with his wife. She has demands, she has requests, she has expectations. And a lot of the time he's not living up to it. And so what? So this transactional relationship has none of that judgment, none of those expectations.
No attachment.
That's right. No attachment.
Yeah. That's tough.
It is so tough. Yeah.
It's like people don't know that, right? Until you go into therapy.
Right?
You're just like, oh, there's something wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
And then that shame comes in again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, there is something wrong with me. Like, why can't I stop? Versus like that understanding that one can get through therapy and that validation and normalizing too, which is why I love therapy so much. It's just normalizing a lot of these things.
Right.
But yeah, that's tough. It's tough. There's a lot of trust and rebuilding, and it's like, okay, well, I also do not work with couples, and yeah. I went in specifically to not work with couples or families. I'm like, no, just one person's enough for me.
Agreed. Yeah. So I mainly work with individuals these days. I'll do a family support session on occasion to see how, things are working.
Yeah.
And so I'll do that. And that's still difficult. And I don't work with kids anymore. So that is totally off the table. And because that's a lot of work. Because not only am I working with a kid, now I have to work with their parents. And I'm not getting paid for that. Unless you want to pay me. And so, but no, yeah, the idea is it's like insurance doesn't pay us enough.
Yeah.
It's like the value is not quite there yet. Our culture doesn't quite, in my opinion, respect us for the service we provide to the community. And the mental health is the real crisis and pandemic is mental health. And there's a lot of them for sure. And the idea though is if our mental health is good, we're good producers.
Yeah.
We're good for the economy. We're good for family unit. What? We drive down emergency costs, domestic violence, murder, rape, all these other things, drug use. It's like, yeah, if we focus on mental health, put our money into mental health as a society, we're going to drive down all these healthcare expenses. And it's like, well.
But also, it's nice having all those healthcare expenses.
Sick people are profitable, not healthy people.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. Very true. I see so much diabetes, hypertension, allergies, like asthma, and in my work. It's like, we gotta fix that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you take care of yourself with all these realities? We really care about people.
Yeah.
How do you care and love yourself?
Oh gosh, it's been a learning process, but going to my own therapy.
Okay.
Right. I was doing that for a bit. Right now I'm in a place where I'm okay, where, I go through phases, right? Like I agree, everyone should go to therapy, but only if you really need something out of it, right? Right now, I think I'm content as I am right now. And I know that there's ups and downs in life, so I'll probably be back in therapy soon. But that's one way. Exercise. I need to exercise. I exercise after work almost every day. So I like to go to an F45 class. Please sponsor me. F45 is great because I have a time that I need to show up at.
Yes.
Because if I say I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to keep pushing it back. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get comfortable, and then I'm never going to leave my room. Right. So I have to have a time, a group, something to keep me accountable, or else I know myself and I'm just not going to go. So I really, really enjoyed that. Spending time with family, reading things that aren't related to psychology. So I'm also part of a book club. So that's also great, reading for fun.
Yeah.
Playing with my puppy. I have Penny.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, I have my Penny with me. I do that. What else do I like to do? Spending time with friends and family. Just really focusing on my physical health. I think that helps the most. The exercise.
Yeah.
If I physically feel good, then I feel good overall. And continue to do like the other little self-care stuff, right? Like getting my nails done, getting my hair done, like going out to dinner, like a nice dinner. Even if I'm by myself, like I'll go on little solo dates with myself.
Yes.
And if if I can't date myself, then how's anyone else going to want to date me, right? How
I
is anyone
remember-
else going to be comfortable with me?
Yeah.
With my presence.
One of my therapists, she's all, Gabe, you need to learn to date yourself.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? That blew my mind.
It's so important. Yes.
Yeah.
Be comfortable with your own presence, right? So that's good. Going on beach walks with my dog.
Yeah.
So excited for the summer coming up. So I'll be doing a lot of that over the weekends. Longer days now, which is great.
Yeah.
So a lot of walks and yeah. What about you, Gabe?
Right on. Well, thanks for sharing. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I agree with the physical exercise big time. I find that I have to discharge the energy.
Yes.
So I have a lot of psychic energy then that is, I got to get rid of it. And so I find the best way for myself is physical.
Yeah. That's the best kind, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just, we hear so much, we take on so much, and we need to release it.
Yeah.
We really do. It's tough. I hear some intense things.
Agreed.
And it's kind of like that separation that I have to put myself between myself and the client, right?
Yeah.
It's just there, and that's just how life happened for them, which sucks, but it happens.
That's right.
And I'm glad that they're here, wanting to heal from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I had to learn to not attach myself to the healing of others. It's really helped. But still, if I hear dozens upon dozens of stories a week, I got to love myself. So the more intense of a story, the more effortfully I have to love myself.
Yeah.
And so I like really strenuous and physical exercise when I have to deal with other men's intimacy challenges. I find it does affect me a lot.
Yeah.
So I have to go work out very hard. And then that's when I go, chop a tree down or go in lumberjack mode. Otherwise, that's, when I like to work with the land real hard is when I really care. And that's when I have to let it out and I sort of give it to the earth. And that's why I like gardening so much, is because then it's like, okay, the weeds will grow. I can pull them out and I'll see something grow and flourish. And so I love that for the garden. And so I do a lot of yoga, a lot of meditation, a lot of gardening, and I want to hang some bags up in the garage so I can.
Ooh.
So I'll do martial arts at home. I was healing from a knee injury.
Oh,
I was in jiu-jitsu last year, and I haven't gotten back into sparring, but I have dreams about it.
Yeah.
So I might do Muay Thai again, but I don't think I'm going to grapple anymore. I don't think it's worth it. Getting older.
Yeah, we also gotta, cope with the transitions of life, right? And I think that's also a big theme that comes up in therapy too, these transitions, from daughter to mother, right? From employed to unemployed, from unemployed to employed, from all these different things. So there's a lot of transitions that happen throughout life, from able-bodied to not able-bodied, disabled, right? Our body changes and adapting to that, right? And grieving our old version of ourselves, right? Yeah, I tore my ACL and I didn't have to, but I chose to retire from playing soccer because the recovery was just so hard. And I was like, I can't do this again. I can't have the surgery, be in physical therapy for 7-8 months. Like it was just too much emotionally too, and it was a huge part of my identity, and I just had to say nope, not anymore. So I transitioned into cycling, so that was a huge part of my life too. Spin. So I really enjoyed spinning, low impact on the knee. It was fun. And now I'm doing a little bit more, HIIT, cardio.
Right on.
I've been training for High Rocks.
What's that?
Do you know High Rocks? It's I guess the new thing right now, where it's like cardio and strength based.
Okay.
So there's like High Rocks competitions.
Okay.
So there's a station. There's I think 8 stations, and you're running in between each station.
Oh.
So you run like a quarter of a mile, I think, and then you'll do like 1,000 meters of the row erg,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Or and then you run again, and then you'll do like 100 meters of lunges, weighted lunges, and then you
Okay.
run, and then you'll do like sled pulls
Okay.
and sled pushes, and you run again, and you do like the what is it, the ski erg, and then you run again, and you do all these different like activities while running in between them. There's actually competition coming up in Anaheim in December, which I'm waiting to sign up for. I'm just waiting for like it to open up and so I
Okay.
can register. But yeah, we got to do these things to kind of motivate us, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
To work towards too, right? 'Cause I'm just working out, it gets kind of boring. But if I'm working out for a certain goal,
Yes.
right, that's what makes it exciting for me and a lot more motivating.
Agreed. Yeah. Well, right on. I look forward to hearing about that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Well, it's fun and hard.
Yeah. Hard work is good work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, solid, Cecilia. Well, thanks for coming today, and
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah. Love to have you again, and we'll explore some more topics.
For sure.
And yeah, just so grateful.
Awesome. Likewise. Thank you.
All right.
Awesome.
Nice.